If you don't grab this pair of sneakers, you're missing out. Jordan brand has been on a generational run over the last year and a half, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that people are not buying Jordans as much as they used to. But for people who still really love Jordans like you and me, who wear them all the time, it's been amazing to be able to walk into your local sneaker store and find some of the craziest sneakers that you never expected to be sitting, and sometimes even for under retail. Not just that, we've been getting incredible retros and incredible new collaborations. It seems like every other week Jordan brand is giving us another retro of an OG or a crazy collaboration, or in some cases a retro of a crazy collaboration like the Undefeated Fours. And I'm not mad at it at all. In fact, I think if you're watching this video, you're probably pretty excited about it as well, because this has been really the best time to buy sneakers in a very, very long time. And this run of incredible releases continues this weekend with the Air Jordan 13 White Varsity Red, aka the Air Jordan 13 Chicago. Not only is this an OG colorway that was worn by Michael Jordan during his 97-98 playoff run, it's also probably the most comfortable, or one of the most comfortable Jordan retros out there, and the colorway is so clean. All those things combined together with a drop of hype and a drip of nostalgia make the Air Jordan 13 Chicago a pair that I think most Jordan collectors are gonna need to have. I grabbed my pair early for the review from FineLine1721 on his website. Obviously, it will release this weekend on March 14th for a retail price of $215. And to be real with you, I do think there's gonna be a lot of these pairs releasing to the public, but I don't think it's a pair that's gonna sit around. As much as we see Jordan retros sitting at our local Foot Lockers, there's some pairs that release here and there that end up selling out within a day or don't make it to the following weekend. And I think this is one of those pairs that maybe won't sell out immediately. It probably will in the sneakers app, but maybe not in your local Foot Locker. But this is a pair that, in my opinion, even in full family sizing, could sell out very, very quickly because of how iconic it actually is. Of course, if you're watching this video after the release and you want to grab a pair for resale, I've made sure to link them through the affiliate links in the description below. If you grab something from those affiliate links, they do help out the channel a little bit. Same thing with the YouTube shopping tab if you guys want to check out the resale price up there, or you can grab them early, which is not a bad way to go either. I don't think the resale price is that crazy right now. I actually just checked the resale price right now, and it's not retail, but it's getting really close. So if you want a pair of these, if you spend resale on it, I don't think you're gonna be mad about it. We've gotten to a really interesting place when it comes to Jordan sneakers. Jordan brand has been around for decades at this point. The first pair of Jordans released back in 1985, which was 41 years ago. And because of that, even though a shoe is retroed 3 to 4 times, that doesn't mean that this shoe is retroing that often. In fact, it generally means it's retroing once every decade. And while there are certain shoes and certain colorways that retro much more often, like maybe the Chicago ones, which comes out every 5 to 7 years, you've got pairs like this, the Chicago Air Jordan 13s, which really only retro every 10-ish years. In fact, this is just the 4th release of this colorway of the Air Jordan 13. It first dropped back in the 97-98 season. The first retro was over a decade later in 2010. 7 years after that, we got the second retro, and now in 2026, which is 9 years after that, we're getting the 4th release. And that's just another reason why I think so many people are excited about this pair, because we really don't get it that much. But hey, before we get any farther into the sneaker itself, let's first take a look at the box. So Jordan brand decided to keep this box super simple, much more in line with modern retros of the Air Jordan 13s. It doesn't have that Jordan face that we actually just recently got on the Air Jordan 4 Lakers. Instead, you've got this pretty simple, semi-gloss, metallic silver box with this little circular impression in the center with the Jumpman in red. The only other detail of note on the outside of the box is the size tag. It says Air Jordan 13 Retro, white, black, true red. Of course, a size 9, which is my true size. We'll talk about sizing later on in the video. But inside the box, you've got white paper and then the shoes. That's all you've got. There's no extra laces. You've got paper inside the shoes, of course, but that's really it. And that's not really out of the ordinary for pairs of Air Jordan 13s. But now let's talk about the shoe itself. The Air Jordan 13 was designed by Tinker Hatfield and is inspired by the way that Michael Jordan moved on court. It was said that he moved like a panther, a black cat, which is another reason why they had the black cat. But that theme, or that panther concept, shows up all over the sneaker. I'll point out those panther details as we get to them throughout the review of the sneaker, but starting off with the materials, on the toe of the shoe, you've got this white tumbled leather, which is, it's fine. I mean, it seems, like synthetic Jordan brand leather, nothing crazy there. But as you move up on the sides of the shoe, you've got these 2 iconic Jordan 13 details, which are these quilted leather panels that come in white tumbled leather. On the lateral side of the shoe, it starts towards the bottom of the tongue and then ends right around the heel of the shoe. And then on the medial side, it actually starts on the toe of the sneaker and then runs all the way back to the heel. And this is actually the first of the Panther inspired details that we're going to talk about. It's inspired by the paw pads of a panther, which I think is really cool, and it's one of the reasons why Tinker Hatfield has become one of the most iconic and legendary sneaker designers of all time. It's not just because he's one of the most prolific designers out there. It's not just because he designed some of Michael Jordan's most famous silhouettes, although that is a big part of it. It's because he's a really excellent designer, and details like this you may never realize are Panther inspired, but when you understand what it is, really makes a lot of sense. It's stuff like that that really makes me appreciate Tinker Hatfield's work. He's not overdoing it. He's not making something overtly obvious, but he is still telling a story with a panel on a shoe, which just looks good in and of itself. I've always loved the side panel of Air Jordan 13s, and I'll be honest with you, the 13 is not one of my favorite Jordan retro silhouettes. I like it a lot, but if we're gonna be real here, it's, it's the 1s, it's the 3s, yeah, I'll throw the 4s in there, the 5s. The 13s is definitely lower on the list for me, but I still really like this sneaker, and it's still a pair that you've got to respect the hits that really make this shoe what it is. In addition to just looking interesting, these side panels are also for performance. They're for locking your foot in and giving you that lateral stability, which it actually does a really good job of. So really impressive design work. Moving to the center of the shoe though, at the bottom of the tongue, you've got this little black tab with the Jordan text embroidered in white. You've got these white laces, which actually seem like they have a bit more of a yellowish tinge to them than the leather on the upper of the shoe. Like I said before, you don't get an extra set of laces inside the box. You just get this one set, but that's really fine. I think the laces on Air Jordan 13s are not as big of a detail as they are in other pairs of sneakers. So changing out lace colors, in my opinion, hasn't been as big of a thing on Air Jordan 13s. I know it happens, but realistically, the percentage of people changing laces on Air Jordan 13s is much lower than people changing them on Air Jordan 1s or Air Jordan 4s or shoes like that. Underneath the laces, you've got more of that tumbled white leather on the tongue. It's perforated on the bottom half. Of course, at the top of the tongue, you've got the Jumpman embroidered in black. Inside the shoe, you've got this plush white sock liner, which feels really nice. The insole is also pretty simple. It's just a white insole with the Jumpman printed on the heel in black. It's also a Dream Cell insole, which feels pretty soft. It feels very similar to the insoles that we just got on the Lakers 4s and other Dream Cell Jordan insoles. Getting into sizing and fit though, the Air Jordan 13 is one that, while a lot of people say it's true to size, and I would generally agree with those people, I do find that it can be a bit long in some cases. I find that this shoe does feel a bit long in the toe area for me. Width-wise, it's fine, but lengthwise, it can be a bit long, so I understand if you do want to go down a half size. If you're a wide footer, you could either go up a half size or maybe go true to size and you might be okay. Again though, I do feel like it fits me pretty well width-wise. Let me throw this back on. Yeah, for me, it really does feel good width-wise. I probably still would go true to size in this shoe, even though, like I said, there's some room in the toe. It really depends on what you like. With that being said though, if you've never owned a pair of Air Jordan 13s and you maybe don't have the opportunity to try these on in the store, which is obviously the best way to go, what I would say if you're buying them off of like the sneakers app or something, you're probably fine going true to size. I really think that you're not gonna be too mad about it. If you really want a more customized or a fit that's really truer to what you're looking for, then yeah, you probably should try these shoes on, and you probably can't buy them on the sneakers app for that reason, although it is very easy to return shoes that you buy on the sneakers app. So it's not the worst thing in the world if you buy a pair true to size on the sneakers app and it doesn't work out for you. Now, a couple weeks ago, Apothecary did just drop our Air Jordan 13 white and varsity red inspired socks, which actually match this shoe literally perfectly. So if you guys want to grab these as well, they're available right now on apothecary.com through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen or through the links in the description below. You guys may have noticed these on the B-roll section of today's video. We got a ton of other sneaker inspired socks too, so check those all out. We also just dropped our St. Paddy's Day collection. We've got the Irish flag if you guys are trying to rep your Irish heritage, which obviously, I mean, you can tell I am pretty Irish. That being said, if you want to check out the softest socks out there, make sure to use code Seth for $10 off of your first order on apothecary.com, whether you buy one sock or 50 socks, doesn't matter, $10 off. So check it out, link in the description below. Also, I'm giving away 5 different Apothecary sock prize packs to people who collect the core badges this month, and of course the first core badge linked right there. Check it out. Continuing back on the shoe though, one thing that you'll notice is that the profile of the shoe is also Panther inspired. It's inspired by speed, kind of like the Air Jordan 14, which is inspired by a Ferrari, a fast sports car. This is also inspired by something fast, Panther, and that's why you've got this more aggressive, like wedge-shaped look. Getting to one of the most important color hits on the entire shoe, you've got this bright red accent on these synthetic suede panels, both on the midsole and on the bottom part of the upper. And actually on the lateral side, they're pretty minor. They do kind of wrap up towards the top of the ankle here, but on the medial side, it covers the entire side of the shoe. Now, I don't have a pair of OG Air Jordan 13s. Actually, my friend Osman does. I should have actually gotten that pair for this video, but I didn't think of it until literally right now. The red on this shoe is brighter than the OG pair, at least from images that I've seen online. It also seems like it's brighter than any of the retro pairs that we've gotten recently, so if that's something that you're into, it doesn't bother me as much as like the red on an Air Jordan 1 bread, and that's probably because I'm just more of a Jordan 1 bread fan, and I have an 85 bread, whereas I don't have a 97 13, but I will say that I like the brighter red. I think it's this nice pop of color. With a shoe like this though, where it's just a more saturated red, I'm sure there are people who will be bothered by it, but realistically, I think it's cool. I prefer this more saturated red, and it's very possible that maybe the original pair was closer to this red when it first released and it's just darkened over time. The suede though, it doesn't feel that great. It feels like kind of felty, but I guess that's kind of necessary on suede that you're using on the midsole of the sneaker, because if you get this wet, because this part of the shoe could get wet if you walk in like puddles or anything, and real suede is gonna have some issues. This suede might be better for that. I'm trying to think of all my other Air Jordan 13s, and I don't generally have trouble with the suede, so maybe it's a more durable synthetic suede or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but either way, it looks good. Of course, rounding off the look, you've got the iconic hologram jewel on the heel of the sneaker. This detail, as you could have guessed, is inspired by the eye of a panther. It comes in bright green, or I guess iridescent green, not so much bright green, but it features this really cool holographic Jumpman and 23 detail inside, which is such a dope touch. It's one of those details that just like pops, man, it's crazy. Then we get to the outsole of the sneaker, which is the most obvious, I guess, outside of the hologram, Panther inspired detail. It's inspired by the paw of a panther, and it actually gives you some pretty solid traction. You've got these herringbone pads throughout the sneaker in white. You've got another little jewel right there in sort of a reddish color. You've got the stability plate in the midfoot in dark gray. And honestly, I think the Air Jordan 13 outsole might be one of the most iconic Air Jordan outsoles out there. Like, it's really the one that if you see the bottom of the shoe, you know what shoe it is. That's not always the case for some of the other Air Jordan sneakers. I mean, for a lot of people, it probably is. One other thing I want to mention is that the Air Jordan 13 is incredible incredibly comfortable on foot. Let me rephrase that. Incredibly comfortable for a Jordan sneaker on foot. This is one of the most comfortable retros out there, not because it's breathable, but because it's really well padded on the upper, and the midsole of the sneaker actually comes with 2 Zoom Air units in the forefoot and in the heel, and it's got a file-on midsole, which is relatively soft. Now again, compared to modern, even basketball sneakers, this doesn't really hold a candle to those, but I will say that for the time, this is definitely gonna be one of the most comfortable options. I still personally think the Air Jordan 14 is the most comfortable, with the Air Jordan 12 actually, in my opinion, having the best underfoot comfort because you've got that full-length Zoom Air unit. But this one is a close second or third, and with the Air Jordan 13 being more popular than the 14, I do think this is a pair that most people will consider to be the most comfortable Jordan retro out there. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree. This is a really great example of a solid and well done retro Jordan. It takes everything that we love about the original sneaker and doesn't change up too much. Sure, the color might be a bit more saturated than before. The shape is closer to the original than some of the older retros. I think the 2017 was probably the closest to the original. Again, I don't have the original, but from what I was reading online. This one though, all around, it's just a well done shoe, and at 215 bucks, it is pricey, but it's not the most expensive Jordan that we've gotten recently. And as someone who just loves collecting Jordans and just loves the history of Jordan sneakers, this is really a must have for me. And I think for anyone who's similar to me and interested in collecting sneakers, I think my audience is actually like 25 to 35, even 45-year-olds. So the older audience, which is crazy to say now, because as a 34-year-old, I still feel like I'm 19. But I will say that for us, for this generation, for the millennials out there, for the Gen Zers out there, please keep watching. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And I really think it's gonna move quickly. So if you want a pair of these, be quick or check out the links in the description below or through the YouTube shopping tab or whatever the case may be. But hey, with that being said, let me know your thoughts on this sneaker in the comment section down below. I really want to thank you guys so much for rocking with the channel for so long. I appreciate you guys. The most important thing I can do is thank you guys because you guys are the best. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, this thank you can also retroactively be for you if you hit subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.